the sad infantisms.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 270. This is the Lord of the Rings plus the Old Guard. That's two films, LGBT and fantasy.
LGBT, QRS, TUVWXYZ.
And this is in case you don't know, this is a film and conversation series by none other than Maggie Mae Fish. Welcome to the end of the month. This is the Maggie Mae Fish Day. Wow, we've made it, guys. It's April.
Why?
It's become a tradition.
Who is Maggie Mae Fish? I've never heard of it before.
She is a magical creature. I just don't know where she comes from.
Just look at her smile and you know everything.
Yeah, she has the face of a serial
look at this thumbnail. Look at this thumbnail. I can see that it's going to be quite a grounded, well thought out, well written.
Yeah, I feel like she's got that shirt from from Jake Sisko going on. She's got the haircut.
Oh, she's wearing the same outfit as last time, the last one I was here for.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god, she's doing the Frodo and Summer gay thing. Oh god.
Yeah.
I think this is the one she was wearing from the what the fuck was it called? Forget it. Let's just go.
Punishment Park.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Punishment Park. Yeah,
Breaking Bad and
Jesus
Punishment Park.
Christ.
That was amazing.
Yeah, because I remember that one where Yokai and Dunn were going like, "What do you mean? People don't have swimming pools and tennis courts in the back garden?"
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Me and Whisper here, like poor Europeans, going, "No, our countries are smaller. We don't have the space."
Oh, I was just like, I have a tennis court in my backyard.
Yeah, your tennis court is bigger than my house. We found that out.
Multiple
But
things are bigger than your house.
That's middle class though in America, supposedly. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and these are the people who want to tell us that we're privileged.
Mine. Yeah, I'm living with my parents to keep costs down, but yes.
I live with my parents.
Yeah.
Muggins here on my own, me and house, paying for everything.
So it's about like 5-bedroom house, 2 stories. Looks real nice.
All right, guys. Enough about our personal lives and what we do on weekends. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so this is going to be.
Sit through Maggie Mae Fish.
Well, this is not our weekend yet. We'll talk about that later. Here is a video that came out in January of this year, and it has about 63,000 views. So not enough time to stew, not enough time to get into the what is it, 500,000, whatever she usually gets. I don't know, it's around there. Mm-hmm. She's an odd one.
This is new.
This is fairly new. Yeah. You can call this year new.
How long ago was it? Was it this year?
January.
Yeah, it is this year. It is this year now. It came out at the beginning of the year.
Right. Okay.
About 3 months ago.
So we're all set. Let's get started.
Let's go.
This video is brought to you by my patrons.
I hate it already.
If you want to support, head over to patreon.com/MaggieMaeFish and by CuriosityStream.
Yay.
Oh, by the way, you can pause it for just a moment. Anyone that ever gets depressed because people like this make money, it's not a tenth of what the VTubers are making, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
They're all very angry about that. No, they're very angry about that. All these people on set. Alright, I'm done.
No, because the VTubers
Fascism and how to fight it. What?
Oh, this is Trotsky's book. Oh my
Trotsky.
god.
Oh my god! Stab an ice pick in my head. It's Trotsky's book. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Okay.
How about you read Orwell instead?
This is like reading a book by like Jeffrey Dahmer about serial murders and how to kill them. You know?
This is literally European Conquest by Adolf Hitler.
And the title looks like it's a children's book.
Or
Yeah,
even
it looks
that
like
she made it herself. Or she made it herself for this as a prop.
No, she hasn't. She hasn't got the skill for that. I saw her Christmas chimney she made out of cardboard. She hasn't got the skill to make a prop book.
All those Crayolas ready to go since 4th grade.
Yeah. With a JPEG fire.
You know what? She reminds me of. She reminds me of fucking Velma from Scooby Doo.
Only she's not.
Velma is a national treasure. You wash your mouth out.
Also,
Velma is sane and smart.
Also, Linda Cardellini as Velma.
Oh no! Shut up, Dunn. Shut up, Dunn. God.
We're now talking about
Don't
more
even think
attractive
about it.
women. It's not a good,
I'm
not a good combination.
More attractive women than Maggie Mae Fish will be here all day.
Yeah.
There's there's 3 billion women in the world.
Okay, well, she hasn't said anything yet, guys. Let's try and.
She doesn't need to. She doesn't need to. She's got fashions book.
Oh my god, I would fuck that Velma. You're right, Dunn.
Okay, we're not talking about the Scooby Doo movie, guys. We're talking
Look at that
about
Velma.
Lord of the Rings and the Old Guard. Okay. And you can talk about all the effing you want about those two films, but not Scooby Doo.
You can, off stream by yourselves in what.
She's so cute.
On the weekends, in your family, with your family, whatever you do with your family, I don't care.
Well, not with your family.
Well, whatever
dinner with your grandparents.
This really wasn't the time to say that.
What you want to do with your family, I don't care. It's none of my business. Anyway.
I'm not going to sit at the dinner table with my mum and dad and go, Velma, I want a banger. They'll just look at me like, get out. We didn't raise you like that. This is a Daphne household. You'll respect her.
Oh, Kyle, come on.
I love Maggie.
So that's what Harry Potter would look like if he had a sex change that went horribly wrong.
Yeah. Kind of.
I'm thinking of Daniel Radcliffe. I'm going, no. I'm thinking more like Mork and Mindy. That's sort of.
Oh yeah, that's
a little closer to that.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. I think we should just end the stream there. I don't think it can get any better.
We're not going to get through this, guys. This is not going to take.
No.
Nev Champion. Oh my gosh, Nev Champion. She's like, I already hate you, Dunn.
Okay, let's stop stop reminiscing about better things and keep going.
Yeah, let's be professional.
Okay. Okie dokie, okay. What? Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Sometimes in my circles I hear things like, kids these days are so gay, and this and that.
What?
But I always like...
Wait, what?
Who says that?
What circles are these?
So gay, and this and that.
She's trying to play the old lady.
Is she?
No, I just love that.
I don't know what accent she's playing.
Is that a Canadian old lady accent? Like, what is that?
In these circles that I am in, kids are so gay. Yeah, it's like a really bad Canadian accent. I can't do Canadian accent.
It's a weird old Newfoundland Canadian lady accent.
Yeah.
Without enough oomph to it, but
yeah.
I think. I don't know. I don't make these accents myself, so I can't say.
Do these Newfoundland people talk about how gay the kids are these days?
I don't think so. Only if you're in Ontario, maybe.
Hawk, you should know. Hawk, you should know. It's okay to be gay. You just can't be the big gay.
You can't be the big gay. Sorry about that. You can't be the big gay.
She will melt off the chair again, won't she?
Oh, please say yes.
At the end, maybe.
Okay, we can continue. I just got blindsided by kids are so gay these days. Huh? Okay.
Anyway.
Who says that?
Yeah, well.
Gay kids.
I
not a
cannot
new thing.
imagine. She has
People
video
have been
games
gay
behind
for
her. I
a very
cannot
long
imagine
time.
she ever played
The
Loom.
Romans were gay. Rock Hudson was gay. My hero, Mr. Brady, was gay. Gosh, I remember my friend Beth and I used to stay up late at night just talking about things like that. And
Why?
oh, pardon me, I got lost in the memory. Actually, we can cut that out of the video. Yeah, you can just...
Yes, please. Yeah, do it.
I'll show you how to snip it out. Okay, great. Where was I? Oh, yes! So today we're going to be talking about 2 films that are very gay. So find your Beth and hold her tight as we talk about 2 films in conversation.
She's horrible.
Queer fantasy!
By the way, when I looked up Velma, one of the first things that popped up was specifically that Velma, Linda Cardellini's Velma, was explicitly gay in the movie. So
Really?
maybe we can cover that another time.
What?
Wow.
I'm sorry, what? She was explicitly gay in the
That was
movie.
what they said. They said
No, she wasn't.
Linda
No, she
Cardellini's
wasn't.
Velma was explicitly gay. That's
No,
what they
she
said
wasn't,
in the article.
because
That's what they said in the article. I'm not vouching for it.
Well, they're wrong. She had a
Yeah,
she
they're
dated
factually
she,
wrong.
she
She
was
had a
dating
boyfriend
Seth
in
Green's
two.
character in the second one. Yeah.
No, according to them, she was explicitly gay.
That
No.
person is
When
dumb.
someone says
That person is
explicitly
wrong.
gay, that sounds to me
She also has
like
a-
it means
She also has
in your face.
She also has a boyfriend, a person she is dating in number 1.
Well, isn't
Yeah.
that just a J.K. Rowling moment
And
where
honest-
it's the producer or whatever says something dumb about sexuality?
I don't know who the fuck was saying it. I just saw it pop up and I didn't click on it.
I think there's been kind of an underground theory the whole for a long time that Velma has been gay. That Velma's gay.
I thought she was
Yeah,
making out with Shaggy.
Yeah, she used to, but yeah. But anyway, queer fantasy. So
Yeah.
the old guard, because Lord of the Rings isn't queer fantasy. Anyway,
Let's go. Here's Joe Crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, this
the
is
old
great.
guard.
Look at the book cover because I would trust Trotsky's definition of fascism. Yeah, don't trust a communist
Yeah.
to describe something evil and say how to destroy evil. It's kind of like saying the devil's trying to teach you how to be good or something. It's like, wait a second, that's not right.
Literally, Trotsky thought communism was great right up until the ice pick went into his skull.
Yeah.
That's literally Trotsky going, oh, hang on a second, this isn't that.
Here's Kyle Rocket again.
Communist in describing anything.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea too. Unless you're actually one of those scholars who could argue the point, and then
I wouldn't trust them with the weather.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the weather forecast. I mean the weather right now.
Just any weather.
Here is Kyle Rocket again. Thank you, sir. She looks like that grandparent the whole family hates. I don't know what she's going for, honestly. I really don't. Is it the old lady? Is it the scatterbrained grandmother? I don't know.
It's definitely scatterbrained, but I don't think that's acting.
All right, well. If she's doing the Canadian thing.
Yeah, but I would agree with Kyle. We have an aunt like that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, have you ever noticed how fantasy is really, really queer? But
No.
it
Nope.
makes perfect
No.
sense. Fantasy
What?
is earnest. True love is always under attack, and both queerness and fantasy are considered to be outside the norm.
Wait, what?
You're really trying here.
How is fantasy
Oh my
outside the
god!
norm?
Oh my god! Someone call Stretch Armstrong. We got a fucking challenger here. What the fuck
How
is
is-
this?
how is
Things that
Stardew
look to
Valley
be- that
queer?
seem to be in the same spot if I look at them from far
All right,
away
here's
enough.
my question.
Wow.
How is Stardew Valley queer?
Well,
I've got a clue.
we do have a fantasy author on the
No,
room
I-
here. So, Dunn, is something outside of the norm when you're talking about fantasy?
Depends on the thing that you're talking about, I guess.
Dunn, is fantasy also as a raging bunch of homos slapping each other with dicks and everything like that? Answer the question.
Well, I just barely got reading book 2 of The Age of Madness, and there is a moment where two dudes are going at it.
Okay, Your Honor, I rest my case.
You need to
Queerness
stop
and
reading-
fantasy are exactly the same.
I wish that Dunn would stop reading so fast. I'm still on book 1 of that fucking Abercrombie series.
Yeah, I just
What she
barely got
mean with
finished.
outside the norm? Does she mean not real?
Yeah,
No, I think she means social norms, as in like fantasy is only liked by nerds, and queer is only liked by gays or something. I don't know.
No, that doesn't work.
It's not in social in the real world. It's not the norm to be gay or to like fantasy.
Maybe.
I'd say.
I believe that's what she's.
Like
I believe that's what
fantasy.
she's
Look
saying.
at how is it considered abnormal to like
that's
fantasy?
wrong when
It's nerdy. It's geeky. It's nerdy.
Yeah.
I just don't think that a
Bad
genre
boy beta.
of writing is suddenly unheard of. Like,
She's comparing a genre to
A sexuality.
sexual orientation.
Also, who uses the
How
word
do you
queer?
even do
Queer?
that?
I thought queer used to be an insult in my day.
She's
Well,
not.
it's weird.
She's not explained why she equates these two things, and she will not.
Oh, Wisp. Oh,
Just to
Wispy, wisp,
accept
wisp.
it. What?
Oh, yeah.
Just I'm annoyed.
Let's give her a minute to elaborate on it. Let's give her a minute.
Give her a minute. All right.
In a
Okay.
minute, she'll be 5 topics somewhere else.
We'll be on to ancient Iraqi artifacts and how they tie into Captain Kirk. Don't fucking. Tommy shall explain something.
What?
Come on,
Sounds
let's
interesting.
continue. Let's continue. How
Almost
far are
choked
we?
on my teeth.
We
I had
are.
to laugh.
Oh,
How far?
oh,
how far
a
BB.
minute, 30 seconds.
Yes.
We're at 30
Did you
seconds.
see
Wow.
that? Did you see that she's saying that queer and fantasy are pretty much the same?
Aren't they?
Well, no. I can
I'm just
easily
messing
give you at
around.
least three ways that they're not the same. Number one,
Also, like,
people like fantasy. We don't like what? Sorry,
well,
my lawyer has told me not to finish that sentence.
Well, there's also kind of the thing of like even like people who are like considered like on the conservative spectrum,
Like me.
Brandon Sanderson, have like characters who are gay, like just
Yeah.
there as it's just it's irrelevant.
I'm not saying
that
no.
they are
I'm not.
gay.
I'm not saying that there can't be gay people in fantasy. What I'm saying is the fantasy genre is not the same as being queer
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely not.
in the social world, as in like in our world. Being a fan of fantasy isn't like being gay.
No.
By
there's
saying
not.
that, you ought because being a fantasy fan is a choice. So what Maggie's really saying is, you can choose to be gay. Like
Dad,
you can choose
I
to be a
think-
fantasy fan.
To me, it came
Dad,
across
I
as
gotta
if
tell
she
you
meant to
something.
say that
I think
because
I might. Dad, I think I might
wasn't-
be a Game of Thrones fan.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
no.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
to me, it came across as if she wanted to say that because fantasy worlds are not like the real world; they're different, and that makes even less sense.
Oh god! If my son came up to me and said he was a Game of Thrones fan, I'd scream to the heavens and go, "No! Take me instead!"
No, I would be like blasphemy.
Oh, why couldn't you been a Hunger Games fan like your sister?
On a similar note, I just want to say this because when else am I going to get to say this? Because it just made me laugh. I was watching Tucker Carlson. This was a long time ago, and he said like someone came on that used to be I think that was a homosexual, and he said that coming clean to the people in his life about being homosexual was less difficult for him than coming clean about supporting Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I totally believe it.
That's Americans for you, though. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
No, it's the same here.
Yeah.
It's the same in Germany.
Well,
In
when
2016,
like my
if in 2016 when this whole election stuff started, if you questioned or criticized Clinton you would everybody would turn on you like a mad flock of birds from Hitchcock.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even need to like Trump. You just needed to criticize Clinton and say what she did politically.
Mm-hmm. What was it?
Coming out telling people I was going to transition was much easier.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, my dad, when I was having drinks with my dad, he slightly took me to one side and said, "Oh, by the way, I voted Tories in the last election." And I'm like, "Why do you have to take me to one side?" He goes, "Shh, keep it down. Don't let everyone else know in the pub. Like, we have to keep it quiet." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, things are like that. That's a bad sign for society.
Yeah, my town is incredibly left wing. So if anyone votes right wing, it's like, no, you gotta keep it down. You gotta keep it down. Well, my dad's like a 56-year-old man, like a real northern bloke, going, keep it down. I don't want my friends to find out about stuff. I'm like, why are you worried? No one cares. It's been 2 years.
All right, let's see this wonderful relationship between the gays and the LOTR.
Fantasy mean a lot to us. They're the places that many of us escape to when we're kids growing up, and where we still escape to after a long day of work and we just want to play Star Wars Squadrons. We build fantasy lands over a
Sure
swamp,
you do.
Put a mouse in charge, and use your kid's future college tuition for a ticket. And when your identity falls outside of the quote-unquote norm, fantasy can be a safe place for you to be yourself and express yourself. So, are you a Gimli or a Legolas? I asked 2 queer media creators and...
Oh my god!
No.
Oh my god!
I don't know who the one on the right is, but the one on the left is a fucking pedophile.
Oh wow, Jesus wept!
Really?
Okay. That went naught to pedophilia really quickly.
What's your channel?
0 to Epstein, like in 50 seconds.
Watch your fucking channel and tell me you think different.
Well, legally we can't say that she's a paedophile unless she's been convicted of something. So she's nuts. We'll just call her that.
Okay, she's a predator.
Oh boy.
That's fine. We can. I'm being told by being told by the lawyers. Yes, okay. Predator is okay. That is the okay P word to use.
Okay.
The views endorsed by Wisp do not
sexuality
reflect
onto
the
children.
other representatives of the Smudcast. We are all here talking our own capacity.
Yes, I know. In fact, I'm getting that exact same quote message through to me right now to say on stream. Hawk's views are completely separate to Wisp's, and he welcomes predators and paedophiles into.
Okay.
As your new overlords.
Yeah, as a new overlords of queer Lord of the Rings.
But
on top of that, this whole style is this is a completely artificial stereotype. These non-binary or whatever they call themselves people who made up their identity. They got it out of this horrible webcomic that I keep forgetting the name about.
Hold on, Wisp. Just interrupt. She just went on about how fantasy is somewhere where they can escape to that's not real, and they can make up whatever they want to. And she now just said that queerness is just somewhere that people escape to because it's not real and they can make up stuff.
Oh, did she accidentally make a video about the part that you say quietly?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
no. Oh dear.
Seems like it.
Oh,
Seems like it.
damn.
Shall we keep going?
Let's
Maggie,
go.
you really
Also,
don't.
can I just ask a question? You know that person on the left? Her name is Lynn Z. Is that supposed to be like Lynn Z? Like pronounced it.
I think she wants to be some non-thing. I don't know.
Lindsay Amer. Because if that's
I think
that's
I
like
think it's just Lynn's.
yeah, because probably
She wants to be not a normal human.
because it would remind me of a kid at my school.
Anyone who wears a bow
had the
tie
name,
and isn't into science or is not wearing black or white tie I'm like, okay, are you from 200 years ago? What's going on here?
Oh, this is I keep forgetting the name of this horrible children sexualizing webcomic that has been pushing this very style as a stereotype for the non-binary people. with this stupid bow tie and stupid hairdos, and it's like they all look alike. These people are so against stereotypes. They all look alike.
Whenever I see people with that hairdo, I always like offer them a bit of money so that they can finish off their haircut. Because obviously they must have run out of money halfway through.
So here's Tyler.
So if you really want to be, if Jed is already saying it, if you want to be really grossed out, watch your channel. It's called Queer Kids Stuff.
Oh,
what?
No, I'd rather not.
Let's try.
And I'd rather not cover that on Smudcast.
Hey, listen, I'm not drinking tonight.
You will want to look for the gun you hide in your cupboard.
I'm already drinking.
Anyway, let's try and get these two wonderful people off our screens, okay?
Oh no,
I don't know who the other one is.
Talking.
But she also has, why do they all have these 50-year-old horrible secretary woman glasses?
Because they're so blinded by ideology, they can't see where they're walking. Oof! Yes! That was a joke.
Why do they all want to look like horrible 50-year-old women when they are just 20?
I don't know.
It's
I'm fine. I'm fine with them looking like that.
That was the last
actual proper totty for us real men.
That was the last. That was the last era where the communists were at the height of their power in the 60s.
Maybe there's a point to that.
Oh god.
Man. Well, we should probably
keep
going.
Let's keep going. Yeah, let's keep going. As much as I like laughing at people. Yeah, I know. How long is this video again?
30 minutes.
Hi, I'm Molly Knox-Austin. I'm a graphic novelist. I write for TV animation and a few other things. My biggest series right now is the Witch Boy series from Scholastic. But more importantly and more relevant to this, I'm very obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and I'm going on a real journey of like emotion this summer. Getting really into fan fiction and just doing a deep dive into the book and the movies. So that's what's relevant to right now.
I'm Linz. I use they them pronouns. I am a queer and non-binary creator making.
Oh my god, this is what this person looks like without the clothes and the makeup and the whatever.
Why are we?
Apparently, yes.
Wow.
Why are they doing it like this? Why is she making a video like this?
Why would you not? Why would you not put on your character for this? And as you said, as she said, non-binary. What else? Thing?
Queer non-binary.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
Oh.
What is queer?
I don't know. Wisp, I don't know. I flunked sexual.
Wisp, you're our expert here. We have no idea. We just.
It's like dairy milk.
When Wisp asks us questions, like Wisp, you're the person who knows all this stuff. If you don't know, we don't know. We're just sat here for the ride.
That's the whole thing. Nobody knows because it's an empty term. It was just plastered onto the letter soup as a fifth letter, so that people who don't have anything about themselves that's interesting or oppressed or a grievance or anything can claim, okay, I'm not gay, I'm not bisexual, I am not trans in any way, gender dysphoria or not, but I'm queer. I make my hair weird. I'm queer now. I'm oppressed. My parents are horrible.
It is kind of funny how the other one, she made herself look all cute for the video, and this one just threw on a shirt.
Yeah.
The other one was wearing a necklace and everything.
Yeah, this is just horrible.
And also, why do people do it? Why do people who make videos like use this? I mean, I know we're not particularly the greatest with videos, but if you're going to do like a review of stuff, don't use webcam footage.
Yeah, you know, this gives me the vibe that Linz Eimer is really playing a character.
Yeah.
That as I think is the case with all people who call themselves non-binary and queer. But this is so blatant. If you really cared about this stuff, if that was really you would run around more in that style throughout the day, because this is just casual blob clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one would have any idea that you're something outside the gender binary, because okay, maybe you're overweight. I mean, look at the fat arms. And otherwise, out of
wow, Wisp, okay.
He's swinging wild.
Oh my god.
Wisp
Dude, the only good-looking women that get huge arms are fresh mothers, because they keep carrying their kid on their arms.
Fresh mothers. Oh my god.
I don't know the right word right now. And they develop muscles in the arm they carry their child with. But this is not
they're called muscles. They're called new mothers. They're called new mothers, not fresh.
We all like.
God, you sound like a fucking.
They're called. Excuse me. The word you're looking for is thick. Thank you.
No, thick has.
No.
Dude, if a thick woman has nice curves but isn't fat.
Oh no, I'm not talking about this person. I'm just talking about thickness. I'm talking about.
You talk about fresh mothers. They're like warm grandmas.
Yeah, a good example of
talking about sugar mom.
Thick girl. Yeah, an example of a very lovely thick girl is Ariane Celeste. She is really, really cute.
Hey, if you came to my hometown, there's tons of thick girls. Oh, they're just stupid. Sorry, wrong use of the word thick. Carry on.
Hold on, I'm looking her up.
Ramjamma has a good definition for non-binary.
That's a mama. That's a mama. Ooh, that is a mama right there.
You're welcome.
Sponsored by Monster.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
you're
there's
welcome.
a girl that's sponsored by a mama. That's it, man.
I like Ramjamma's definition of non-binary. Says, "I don't want to maintain my appearance." And yeah. That's certainly one way to look at it.
Hey, Dunn, you better put this picture into the bloody Discord thing, because I want to have a look at some nice-looking people once in a while.
Yeah, we may need that quite often in this video.
Look at that, mama.
All right, here is EC Cons. Thank you, sir. Netflix is making Molly Ostertag's comic The Witch Boy an animated movie. Huh.
Oh, God. Is that any good?
Apparently has a 4.2 on Goodreads, so that's pretty good.
Out of 5 or out of 10?
Out of 5.
Not high quality image, but that's her.
Oh, that's a nice woman that you posted.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is a step up from whatever the hell we were looking at.
Yeah, that's the picture I was looking at, you sick fuck.
Oh,
that's the exact picture.
Yeah, I get holy with her, and I'd fucking nail it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just fucking read in my mind like fucking Moses or something. Just somehow the same exact picture.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Look at that, mama.
Oh yeah, definitely. She would definitely be like Jesus. She would be dead for 3 days after I'd finish with her. She'd rise again. Oh. Anyway.
That is.
I've been single for way too long now.
What's this person's name? Dunn?
Ariane Celeste.
Ariane Celeste. Okay, thank you very much. Just to.
She's what the SJW would call an unrealistic woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a fictional character.
So that you can get more pictures for research.
Yeah, you have no idea. I have a whole Pinterest board of possible female for models.
You don't say.
You don't say. Damn, son, you shocked us all here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
LGBT intersectional work for all ages. I mostly do that through my web series Queer Kid Stuff, and I go all over the country and all over the internet and perform songs and stories for kids and families, kind of bringing queerness into their world through songs and stories. And I do a lot of media criticism of particularly any kind of all ages media with any kind of queerness in it. So that's my jam.
Lord of the Rings is
queerness in kids media?
That is very simple. Go back to the screenshot there with her channel there. Wait, where is it? Oh God, stop moving.
You just had it. There. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still some overlay.
Red queer.
Yeah, she's pushing this onto children. That's what she has. The little teddy bear that is a hand puppet.
Yeah, I recognize this from somewhere. Didn't we like cover one of her videos, or maybe we covered it on Morning Nonsense?
So.
I don't think we did it here.
It might have been more than nonsense.
I recognize the setup and everything, but it was probably Morning Nonsense.
I recognize the.
Yeah, but this is actively targeting children with be gay, be trans, be non-binary. This is actively confusing children who are very impressionable.
Yeah, I think it's. I wouldn't do that.
I don't think anyone sane would do that.
I mean, look, I will. Like, this is obviously the most extreme you can get in terms of introducing these things to impressionable minors. But I will concede that it's a relevant question. Like, when do you speak with your child about that? But
not at the age that children look at this and
well,
think,
what I'm saying is exactly, it's a very niche circumstance that most children are not going to find themselves in.
Yeah.
And commercializing something like this, I think it's safe to say will do more harm than good.
Yeah. You talk about this at during puberty.
Definitely.
When it comes up.
Definitely.
But really, this isn't really important. I enjoy the topic of it, but I think we should get on with get past this.
Yeah.
Okay.
To what she's talking about with
here is Tyler Preston. Thanks for the donation. I'm staring at the comments of Maggie's video, and it convinces me that these people lack any form of social interaction. These people are obsessed with who's banging who. I'll let you know if there's anything worth telling. Guys, we've gone through various videos.
Shipping culture.
Sorry?
Shipping culture.
I don't know what it is, but if you go through any of Maggie's videos comments, they are frightening, and it doesn't matter which video you're on.
Yeah, it is. It is literally just I'm this sexuality and I sleep with this sort of people. It's like, okay, that's great. That's great. I'm this sexuality. Okay, yeah, that's great. It's like,
oh yeah,
why is sex
you
so
learn
important?
You learn about various kinds of sexualities you've never heard of before. I could probably go to the one right now. It's like, I am an XYZ thingamabob, and you're like, okay. And your point is, like, what are you trying to say, sir, ma'am, whatever you are?
It's the only thing they know how to define themselves.
It's odd because I think that it creates like these different sexualities that now have labels and stuff. I think what it does is I think that it normalizes and brings a form of culture to mental illness.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
and I think that it can make
also
people, and I think that it can make people who are not mentally ill become involved in mentally ill communities.
Yeah, this is one thing that when I was growing up, I started to realise. Mental health used to be discriminated against, and it took ages for people to actually understand mental health. The problem is that turned into from understanding mental health and trying to help people to tell them that having a mental health problem was normal and okay.
To being a good thing, even.
Yeah, to be
it's something to be venerated because you now get extra points for if you have something.
Mm-hmm. So what's happening, and I think it's what Yokai was getting to, is now it's telling people it's okay, it's good to have all these mental health things to then say I'm this and this sexuality, when in reality it should be like No, you're not. You're not a Peruvian pan flute playing sexual queer magogolog or something like that. Just calm down. Calm down, Keith. It's Tuesday. We've got to get back to doing the filing.
Yeah, and what I see is a parallel to them putting themselves into tribes akin to, well, I am into this boy band and you into the other boy band.
That's where it can lead to. This is where
they define themselves by that.
Yeah.
By I'm into this, you're into that. And that's what defines our worth.
Yeah, because when I was growing up, I started to notice that once it became quotation marks cool to have a mental health problem, everybody started having one.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, everyone had depression. Everyone had anxiety. Everyone had schizophrenia. Everyone had something. Something was wrong. When I was growing up, when I reached about 15, 16, 90% of the kids I knew at school had something wrong with them. ADHD and all this. None of them actually had it, and once they turned into adults, miraculously it all disappeared. All these really big problems all disappeared.
Well, a big problem with the ADHD thing is I think that there were a lot of elementary school teachers that just couldn't deal with kids. And so send them away, and it's like,
these were self-diagnosed bits of ADHD. It's like never got any doctors saying they got it. They were just saying, "Oh, I've got this because it's cool to have it." But it's like now, it's like a lot of these people who say that this sort of sexuality aren't actually the sexuality; they're just doing it because it's the cool thing. I mean, I always joke about being semi-bisexual.
The thing is, it's something that has become so prominent. You can't I think that there are some people that there's a certain level of sickness in them. I think other people, they could just be feeling vulnerable, like a vulnerable 12 or 13-year-old that's going through something can be on Reddit reading this fucking shit.
I think the problem is I think 95% is just doing it because it's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, and from my experience with these people here, so that I can't speak for all of them, but from my experience with these types of people, they do not have any hobbies.
Yes.
None.
Yeah.
None. They don't do any sports. They're not crafting anything. It's just nothing. Yeah. This is the only thing they have. They are the most boring people and the most boring kids you will ever find. That's why they cluster together under, oh, I am this thing that I claim to be. And what exactly makes you an interesting person? Oh, I have the sexuality thing. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that reminds me, that video Smud and you guys covered a while back about that guy who was talking about Jurassic Park.
Sorry, the cinema.
Yeah. I looked at the comments of that video. Everybody in the comments section said the exact same thing. I sexually identify as a velociraptor. I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Does that mean that they all think they're clever girls?
Yeah. And they run around.
Come on, that was a good fucking pun.
That's just the attack helicopter joke with velociraptors.
Yeah, but the attack helicopter joke, that's actually kind of funny. It's unexpected. It's kind of funny. When you say I sexually identify as a velociraptor, it's like people just stare at you like, okay, what does that mean?
It means you want to fuck lizards.
Yeah. Well, it's like I always joke.
It's kind of like the furries, except they're into scales. They're scales.
Oh, scalies.
Somebody downstairs.
Someone's downstairs.
All right, guys. Let's
keep going.
Let's try and keep going.
And all that, and perform songs and stories for kids and families, kind of bringing queerness into their world through songs and stories. And I do
You're
a lot
horrible.
Of, media
You're sexualizing children.
Particularly,
you're a predator. You're a pedophile.
Media with any kind of queerness. So.
No,
we know.
We know.
Like,
we know. Hold the back.
Really gay. But also very not. JRR Tolkien was a lot of things, including some things that were bad. His depiction of whiteness has been covered by more but I'm going to use that as permission to not exactly take Tolkien's ideas about his own writing at face value. Tolkien wrote the books in the 1940s. The language that we use to discuss gender and sexuality today.
Oh my God!
So
look at that.
Simply looking
Your
at
definitions are
Wait a
bullshit.
second. Wait a second. She's saying because the words we created today didn't exist back then, therefore Tolkien was a bad writer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just he didn't have as complex a worldview as we do today.
Tolkien?
No, the man who created a fucking fantasy world doesn't have a wider.
She's making the
claim. She's making the claim that 17-year-old insane kids have got a bigger wide.
Tolkien's works. She's making a claim that Tolkien's works are a product of their time exclusively because of the language that they use.
The man.
That's the claim that she's making. I don't think it's an accurate claim. Even if you were to say, well, no, but even if you were to make the claim that his stories were offensive in some way, that doesn't make the stories less complex, and that doesn't suddenly not make the works timeless.
Yeah.
Also, the same thing, concepts that the words they made up describe. You can still have these concepts in your story. However, you would most likely in a work like this, if you had any of these concepts in there, it would be one that would have any resemblance to reality. So the most likely thing would be a cross-dresser, someone gay, or someone who suffers from gender dysphoria by just being in a bad spot, but nothing more. You would not have non-binary in that because that doesn't exist. You wouldn't have pansexual in that because that is not a thing that exists.
Let's just be clear on Tolkien as a writer. He has one of the giants, if not the grandfather of fantasy as we know it. I don't care if he was a flaming homosexual, if he murdered chipmunks on the weekends, if he I don't know, took part in the Reichstag. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. Because his art is what lasts. That's what we care about.
Well, what she's claiming though, Smud, is that the language used in the text itself to describe the events that take place is in itself offensive, and therefore the work is a product of its time. I don't think that's a good argument, because no matter how offensive something is, that doesn't mean that something is suddenly a product of its time. Just look at the Old Testament.
I think that actually, like, what she's saying is basically that, like, queer, gay, and stuff like that had not been.
We can rewind it like for 10 seconds and listen to what she said again.
No, it's great. I'm still just laughing about a gay Tolkien shooting chipmunks.
It seems to me like she's making the claim that. It seems to me like she's making the claim that the language used is what limits the work. Even if you were to say it's offensive,
it's primitive compared to our language.
Like let's just say it's offensive, just for the purpose of argument, even though I know it's not.
No.
Let's just say that.
No, you can't.
Even if it was offensive, she would still be wrong when she makes this point. A work is not limited by the language used to describe the story that takes place. That is wrong.
Yeah.
Or it could also be that she thinks that, like, because he was writing in this time period, we can interpret all manner of gay into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also possible.
I was gonna say, I think the word queer existed back in the 1940s, but it probably didn't mean what it means today.
It meant odd.
How does Oscar Wilde?
That's a queer fellow.
Picture
is an odd fellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then it meant weird. Now it means Super Saiyan 2 because they think it's fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah, and gay used to mean happy.
Oh, I'm a queer. I'm a fucking Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, but also gay
Lord
used to mean happy in
really,
the UK.
Really gay. But also very not. JRR Tolkien was a lot of things, including some things that were bad. His depiction of whiteness has been covered by more deft writers than I, but I'm going to use that as permission to not exactly take Tolkien's ideas about his own writing at face value. Tolkien wrote the books in the 1940s. The language that we use to discuss gender and sexuality today didn't even exist back then. So instead of simply looking at the words or images on their own, we can look at the relationships and how the characters actually interact with and show affection with each other.
that always like makes me feel really. I can't like read into stuff even when it's like the author is like presumed straight. I'm like, I still can. You just never know, and you never know like what someone's experience was that they did not like share with the world, or like what they might have, who they might have been if they'd been in a different place or a different time. So it's like I've definitely gotten a few.
Yeah, I know. If you'd been in Germany in 1930, you'd have been wearing a swastika. But you know, hey ho.
Okay, all right. I was wrong. My initial point was wrong that I've rewatched it. My initial point was she's making the claim that because of the language used in the work, that makes it a product of its time. That's not the claim she's making. The claim that she's making is, oh, there's gay nuance in it, despite it being a product of its time. That's
also, I do like the fact that she went, Tolkien did some really bad things.
I don't think that's right. I don't think there's fucking, but whatever.
It's
by the way,
it'll call gay coding now.
Yeah.
And that is just their new word for stereotyping, so that they can stereotype without calling themselves stereotyping. And then they can say, but Frodo and Sam have a very close friendship in which they care about each other, have each other's back, and that is gay to them. That is gay coding to them.
This is going to be really bad video.
I love the fact that Maggie says Lord of the Rings is very gay, but it's also not. Like, which is it, Maggie?
Yeah.
Either it's gay or it's not.
I think she's just saying that there's some homosexual nuance within the relationships, which is wrong.
I know,
but
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, this whole thing is wrong so far.
I'm already regretting the whole thing. This is just going to be terrible. This is really going to be bad. I already know exactly where this video is going to go, and it's. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm really contemplating getting some beers out. I said I'd be good and not drink, but this video is
I'm already drinking. I'm already drinking.
No, because I know what's going to happen. It's going to be they're going to be saying things are gay when it's quite clearly not gay, but because they've said it's gay, they think it is gay.
Because they ship that.
Because they want to see the gay so that they can fap.
It's like Tolkien was straight, yeah, but he might have been gay.
Well, that's really the reason.
What?
They do not. It's not that they want to see all the gay just there to be gay stuff. These are women who get off on male homosexual interaction. That's a thing. The main consumers of yaoi manga are girls.
They want the men to do the fucking.
Yeah,
that's what they want. They want the men to do the fucking.
Shall we keep going?
Here's a few donations, and we'll keep going. Here's
Dunn's always having such a good time. He's always mid laugh everything he says.
Here's Ben. Here's Ben Dover. This creature that calls itself Lindsay looks like an anti-Semitic cartoon was given life. Oh.
Ooh. Sir, that is
That's a bit too harsh, but okay.
I agree, but we have to be very careful.
Good, I just got a bit of rum here.
Yeah, this is just. Yeah, I'm gonna get a bottle of beer.
Okay, here's one more. Let's get going. Here's Francis Ford Coppola. The best argument they have for Tolkien's writing being offensive is him describing orcs as swarthy mongoloids. And even then, that's a pretty weak of foundation for an argument. When you're talking about a horde...
Wait, hang on. So, but mongoloids is in
that would be Asian, not
being mongoloids.
Yeah, that would not be Africans. That would not be black people. That would be Asians.
Yeah, but what's wrong calling someone a mongoloid? It's like, oh wait, it's because you think orcs are black.
No, if you call them mongoloids, that means you mean they are Asian.
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. Yeah, well, it's got Mongol in it, but it's not. That's not what it means, Wisp.
No, that was the scientific term used for Asiatic people.
Yeah, no, but it's not the insult word of which Tolkien was using. It's a mong, a retard, an idiot. Like a troglodyte.
Right, that's another form of mongoloid.
No, yeah, but that's in British slang, in British terms, a mongoloid is someone they're not too bright. That's why people call people like mongs and stuff in Britain. Because we have a lot of words for a lot of different things. I mean, we had like, retard wasn't really used, so it was like spastics and mongs and tards and all this sort of stuff. So
and schmucks.
We had a couple of those too.
Yeah, but mongoloid was definitely wasn't used as a subtext for the Mongol people. It was a subtext for not very bright people.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I also like the fact that I could use all those insults.
Want, like their boy story to get touched with like romance.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is written so romantically.
Boy story.
It's hard to.
What do you
She's
mean,
protecting her fetish.
Boy stories don't want to get touched by girl stuff.
This is a war buddy story from World War One. If you want to read gay projection into stories, read Hermann Hesse. His most famous work is Der Steppenwolf, and not a DC character. It's a pretty famous German piece that my generation and before almost everybody had read. And if you've read about 3 of his works, of his books or stories, then you basically know them all, and you start to begin to notice that many of them have gay undertones and real gay relationships that are implied, and sometimes between minors. It's a bit eerie. So dear lefties, if you want that kind of stuff, read Hermann Hesse. Do not project it into Tolkien where it is not. Lord of the Rings is a war story. It's not about a gay relationship.
But it's popular.
Also, can I just say one thing?
It's popular. You got to make it gay.
Yeah, but it's minors, not minors.
Whatever.
minors are under the ground digging.
Thank you, Mr. British.
But I pronounced the same.
Hey, listen. Wisp struggles with English sometimes. I'm trying to, help out.
Okay,
No, we won those 2 wars, so I don't have to learn German.
Oh, jeez.
Checkmate.
Okay.
With the help of other weirdos.
Yes, true.
All right, enough flag waving there, Hawk. Let's keep going.
I have to. No one else will.
This is true.
Square how into those as a gay person. You just never know like what an author's experience was, and so I feel like there's just like a lot of room to read into it.
At the heart of The Lord of the Rings is, of course, that epic fight of good versus evil. Yes, we love the bows and arrows and the 2001 era Orlando Bloom, but when my dad is sobbing at the end of the film, it's because Frodo is leaving his dear Sam and sailing off to the Grey Havens. Where would Merry be without Pippin? It's where we get the classic alongside a friend meme. This epic fantasy is about love and family and friendship.
You people do not understand love.
The storyline that I really resonated with is Frodo and Sam's relationship. To me,
they get love and lust.
This relationship that I feel like I've rarely seen ever in anything that I find immensely relatable. To my own like romantic relationship. I just cannot read them as anything except for romantic. It feels so.
Why? Sam gets married to a woman.
You're projecting.
And he has quite clearly has romantic feelings for a woman.
Yeah.
A deep friendship between men is like family. It's not about sex. It's not about romantic
love.
stuff.
Yeah, love isn't always sexual. By the way, I just want to point that out.
Yeah, the love you have for your children better not be sexual.
Yeah, these people just can't seem to separate love and lust. Yeah, you shouldn't be sexual towards minors. They work long hours.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that.
All right.
But I think the main thing what these people fail to do is it's the love and lust thing. So romantic relationships have lust in it, and platonic. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bore you. But Sam and Frodo's relationship is platonic, as in like they're friends. but they love each other, as in like brotherly love, as in you'd love like family.
Like I love Smud, like he's my much more intelligent uncle.
Because you want to fuck him.
Yeah. Yay and nay.
Anyway.
No, but it's yeah, but this is what I mean. So when they go like, well, I can only see them as romantic. It means so. This shows how little interaction they have with other people, because they somehow seem to believe that any someone liking them means romantic feelings.
Here is
Do you know what I mean?
Francis Ford Coppola again. Where are we? This woman's perception of storytelling is so warped that they've interpreted any positive interaction men have with one another as a gay romance, and they say men lack emotional intelligence. This is an interesting point, because usually women are very good at picking up on social cues and feelings behind motives and this and that. Apparently not.
I want to disagree so hard.
Okay, but there's a whole marketplace for women just reading romance novels or Harlequin romances or dramas or you name it. They will have
but it's not that they pick up on emotions, it's that they project their own emotions all the time.
Oh, they're
not really empathetic. They're not really empathetic. They're more solipsistic.
They could be really dumb when it
looks
comes
like
to
empathy on the outside because they're very emotional all the time.
Oh yeah,
but they're not empathetic.
That's
at all.
why we get a lot of strange arguments from the women YouTubers who have these takes on movies that don't make any, like Wit and Folly. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, but just because she read a book that some guy wrote about the hero's journey, which translates to the heroine's journey, which translates to the American something journey. Therefore, Raylo makes sense to her mind. So there's all this stupid obfuscation of what's in the text. So I don't care what a person gets out of the text unless we're analyzing what the text is. They could enjoy it for whatever it's worth. I think that's fine.
Yeah, but to say that Sam and Frodo's relationship is romantic is wrong.
Yes.
If you take that out of the story, then I'm sorry to say this, but you're reading books wrong. So
you're watching movies wrong.
With you.
Oh, just wait, my friend. Just wait.
Video games.
Oh,
you're jerking off.
Dunn there going. Yeah, but Dunn's there going. Oh, just wait. It's like, Dunn, this isn't my first rodeo. I know it's going to get worse.
I mean, you can have all the headcanon you want. You can write all the fan fiction you want, but it's not real.
They're jerking off wrong.
They can jerk off to their fantasies all they want, but that doesn't make the fantasy real.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true.
This is a true statement.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Mike Testa. We have a word for people like that, a fujoshi. Okay.
Sounds like a fucking Mario character.
Here is Alex Halo. Anime has all the Yuri and Yaoi otakus fujoshi want. Okay, that's the term that Mike was referring to. Here's Mike Testa again. Dunn loves Smud because he's his daddy now. Bend over. Oh my. Bend over is an actual user who gave us a donation. So
yeah, Bend over. You leave Bend over.
Are we gonna call it Sun?
A quick definition of fujoshi, since that's a more obscure term. Fujoshi is a self-mocking term that literally means rotten girl and refers to female anime fans who are nuts, not only for attractive male characters, but for imagining them in relationships with one another.
So, normal anime girls then.
They're not. Yeah. I wish that wasn't accurate.
There are so many anime girls with certain personas throughout the decades.
That
we've termed.
Even I'm like seeing like a same.
And personas and scale saunas.
Let's just stop.
Yeah, but that means they're just Western fujoshi.
Yeah, just Western Fujigoshimo Wopo Wapo, whatever it is. I don't know.
You
it's all weep shit.
You pronounced it right.
What, Fugashi? Oh no. Let's go back to miners. I don't know. Lord of the Rings, Old God or something. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's all start talking about minors.
And I think that there's a lot of
Dick,
different elements
coal,
of queerness in
coal
Lord of
bowl.
the Rings, but that to me, that's like very much the one that I've been just like paying the most attention to and like writing.
This is just going to be a bloody Zoom call thing video.
Quotes from people because I
Oh my God, her makeup is normal.
My buddy Anthony Oliveira, who is Mea Koopa on Twitter, has this really good tweet that I just like have saved because I love it, where he wrote, Tolkien is profoundly disinterested in war, except as a backdrop for men to love each other as fumblingly as they can manage. And there's
I just got chills.
Oh
actually.
God, what?
You got.
Yeah, that is not gay love, you idiot.
If it's a story about friendship and love,
You
I
just
feel
hear
like
love
it
and you
has
think
a lot of
sex.
Great examples of friendship.
You're disgusting people.
And it's a little lacking in the love.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, look there, the woman that Sam fancies.
Nor do I want to discount
Can we just-
people who might be aromantic or ace who look at their relationships and get meaning out of it not
Fucking
being
idiot.
explicitly romantic. And I think that's a totally valid reading of The Lord of the Rings. But for those who do see a queer relationship between the characters, it makes sense because high fantasy often goes with the most dramatic choice. Bad guys aren't just bad,
Get
they're
the
evil.
fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Why
You're
does-
gonna compare over-the-top elements of theater to
Did she just say bad guys aren't just bad and showed the
people
eye of
wanting to
Sauron?
fuck?
Yeah, no, she's literally just said fantasy goes over the top, and that's just like queerness. Maggie, you're saying the quiet bit out loud.
How does?
Yeah,
Again.
you're saying that being gay is just a performance.
Okay,
That
so
means it's a choice.
so we're
That
talking
means
about.
it can be that means conversion therapy can work.
Well, she used a parent term or a parent genre called high fantasy. I don't know if you guys know much about high fantasy, but we can look at The Witcher. We can look at The Princess Bride. Wheel of Time. There's so many stories of different.
Archive.
Yeah, and they all have high fantasy.
First Law.
Some of them
First Law.
are completely sexless.
Sorry if I said fire.
Some have no sex. Some have lots of sex. Some have a little bit of a little implicit sex. It's very varied. The stories in that genre.
What would you say is how you become a high fantasy? For people who don't know what high fantasy is.
You're talking about high adventure, so anything that involves a potential element of the fantastical. So we're talking about The Princess Bride, where there's very, very minor magical elements, where you have another element like The Witcher.
Rats of unusual sizes.
Right. Like you have like a little bit of
rodents.
magic, like the miracle pill or the machine that sucks your life, or like little things like that aren't really a big deal, magically speaking or fantastically speaking, but it's like, okay, that's enough. Let's get on with the adventure.
Or basically anything that's not our own world. Anything that's in our own world is classified as urban fantasy.
Right. And then you have The Witcher, where it's just this giant bestiary of creatures and this whole cabal of men and women, I think it's just men actually, who go through this process to become these warriors to stop these creatures. And there's witches and there's covens and sorcerers and all these other really high, powerful, magical guys running around trying to control politics. So there's huge jumps, not only between power and metaphysics, but sexuality, sex. Like The Witcher has all kinds of sex, but it's not the focus of the story. It's just an element. It's just here. The writer likes to talk about adults.
It's just to give atmosphere to the world.
Yeah.
How gritty is it, for example?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
I'm a bit confused because I never looked up the terms high fantasy and low fantasy because it came up regularly in my life and it was always used differently by people. The version I grew up with
called dark fantasy.
Yeah. So what the versions I grew up with can be completely wrong definitions. Just the ones I got were that a high fantasy has an abundance of fantastical elements and usually strong levels of magic, and low fantasy has a lack of that, like Conan the Barbarian. It has magic, but it is a very down-to-earth world otherwise. It's very rare for someone to perform magic. In that sense, the Lord of the Rings would consider, by that definition, rather a low fantasy setting than a high fantasy setting. It has lots of strange races. It has some magic in it, but it is very limited to very few wielders of magic. And what can be done with it is rather vague and usually benign or very, very complicated. That's the version I grew up with. Whether that's right or not, I don't know.
Usually, I associate the high fantasy concept with very similar to the space opera. It can have dark elements. It can have crazy magical elements. It could have comical elements, but it usually focuses on the drama or the melodrama of the characters. So we talk about The Princess Bride being a romance story, but that's sort of a tangentially related topic because the topic is, or the theme is, true love. But everyone just says, oh, true love, it's true love. We don't know what that is, but we know it exists.
Well,
these people have it.
Because it also works with people also about the true love of Princess Bride being about Wesley and Buttercup, is it?
Yes.
That's the name.
Yeah. So,
but it's also about what's his name? Oh, Inigo Montoya, his true love for his father.
Yes, exactly.
So just so I get this right, the way you understand the term is that it's defined by where the plot moves, or on what kind of theme the plot focuses.
Not necessarily.
Instead of what the setting.
I'm referring to the drama of the characters. So we talk about the romance in The Princess Bride being this ideal world of romance where there's true love, and we tell a story about that world. When we look at the Witcher, it's the concept of the world being this massive non-earth place that is over the top with beasts, over the top with magic. Like everything's big, and it's also down to earth with its people. So there's detail enough to us to understand, oh, okay, this is a real place. We have vineyards over there, we've got dragons over there, and there's this people in between. So it's high concepts, not necessarily related to one direction. So you're not talking about drama, you're not talking about magic, you're not talking about setting, but they can go in those ways. So it's an epic, large area.
Yeah, but what then confuses me is that if you have that as a high fantasy thing, and then tell a sub-story, a side story in that world that doesn't have the world as the focus, but just happens to be there, then that would be low fantasy?
You can...
Yeah, an example of kind of lowish fantasy might be First Law, since the magic is almost non-existent in that book series. There's only like 5 or 6 magic users in the whole of the series.
Yeah.
Same with Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, that's low fantasy. Yeah, because that's literally just a medieval Europe, but in a in a different world. So low fantasy is literally just like our world, just placed somewhere differently, different things and stuff.
We could talk about the metaphysical element like magic. I know we like talking about what is a hard magic system, what does it mean to have a magical school, or what does it mean to have incantations and runes and all these other difference of systems than books. Then we're getting into the nitty-gritty of what makes a writer create a world like Shannara or Wheel of Time or all these other elements where magic has to be taught, and there's certain schools, there's certain colors, there's certain flavors. So we're not going that far. We're focusing more on the drama of the story. And that's why I see The Witcher as high fantasy, because it has these extensions of a semi-hard magic system, even though the magicians are pretty much gods. They could do almost anything. But they're not gods, they're people. So there's like a certain control level. How good are you? And how natural are you? And how do you train? And how can you create a Witcher that can do basic spells? And why can't anyone else? And where do you learn to do that? So there's all this hidden elements of the mysterious that's hidden behind every rock in the fantastical world that is interesting to a lot of people to read. So the setting does end up becoming the focus the same way the setting of Star Trek becomes the focus, because you're in the future and everything's awesome and everyone's friendly and we've conquered hunger and disease and all this other stuff. So these are one of the fantastical elements are why we read these stories, but we stay for the characters and their plights and what they try to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Not just the Shire that's in trouble, but all of Middle-earth. People are not just infatuated, they're in love. In following those fantasy tropes, there's space to look at Sam and Frodo's relationship as that of a romantic couple. Story-wise, it helps flesh out why Sam is ready to risk it all and carry his loved one up the mountain when he's unable to.
No, it's not about that.
I've always loved these
No, it's not about that. Sam knows just as much as Frodo and the other people of the Fellowship know that this job needs to get done.
Yeah.
And he wants to save his friend because the ring is killing him.
And also, it's his best friend. Wouldn't you do stuff to help your best buddy if they were having a really
rough time? Yeah, and that's not about going anal. That's just about yeah, but that's all these people think about.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the way it was so blunt. Oh my god!
Fucking hell!
Yeah, no. Sorry.
These queer people are the most sex-obsessed degenerates I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They kind of are a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts a little bit because they did catch me off guard. Yeah, he's quite clearly Sam quite clearly has a crush on the Vargirl in Hobbiton.
Yeah.
Which automatically means he's not gay. So yeah, and he also gets married at the end and has kids and is really happy. And helping Frodo on a quest where he knows that the ring has got to be destroyed doesn't mean he's gay. If Frodo had died, Sam knew he would have to probably take the ring to carry on.
He would. I'm definitely sure he would try.
Yeah,
he knew he'd have to risk it.
And he knew at that point in time Frodo wasn't dead, and he says, "I can't carry the ring, but I can carry you," because he knows Frodo's got to finish it, and Frodo's still alive. So that line take
proves.
Frodo with him. Yeah.
That line proves that he's about a job to get done, because that's the whole fucking reason for this fucking journey.
Yeah,
because Frodo is just out of it. He's almost dead.
Yeah,
he just is almost done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's almost. Well, I guess he's almost finished since Dunn is me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He.
Oh, showing your writing chops there, Dunn. Oh.
Oh no, Dunn's not having one of a Steve moment where he doesn't know whether he's done or done. Oh god. Is he done or is he done?
Oh no, I'm for sure finished. I'm for sure done, but I don't know about if I'm finished or not.
Oh no. Not like Steve from Blue's Clues, who doesn't know whether he's Steve or Steve.
I see what he did there.
Yeah, I know.
If Dunn has an existential moment, I'm sure he'll write about it. He'll be like, "Oh my god, I feel something. Let me write that down."
I'm sure if it's an existential crisis, Dunn will definitely ask us to do 2 Maggie Mae Fish videos instead of 1. So...
I need more suffering.
Your suffering is all that keeps me going.
Let them suffer the pain of Maggie Mae Fish.
Speaking of Maggie Mae Fish,
adventure stories, putting myself in these worlds, it's always the thing that I gravitated towards when I was a kid. I loved Harry Potter, R.I.P. J.K. Rowling. The whole other conversation. I was growing up when the movies were coming out, when Lord of the Rings movies were coming out, and I really like followed them and went into the theaters for them. I never ended up reading the books for some reason, even though I was like a huge bookworm. And then I saw that Molly was
You
pathetic. I haven't watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy in a really long time, and so I like binge watched it
pathetic
one
fake
night,
fan.
like all 3 movies in like one day, which is like a lot. And
how you gotta do it?
Wait, you watch them all in one day?
You gotta do it. And I just like I was watching like Frodo and Sam, and I was like, why aren't they lovers? Like, why isn't that a favorite part of this?
Because they're not lovers.
Because you're obsessed with gay relationships. Because you have to slap your genitals all over my escapist fantasy that is completely fine as it is.
You're just flopping your genitals onto my keyboard, and I'm just having no fun whatsoever here.
Yes.
Sir, could you remove your balls from my soup? It's getting in the way of my meal.
Yes.
Can we keep going?
Yeah, but also, why weren't Sam and Frodo lovers? Because they weren't. Anyway, moving on.
It wasn't that type of story.
Yeah. Because they're not faggots, okay? They were straight guys.
Have you noticed that all these SJW women obsessed with pushing the gay into everything and seeing the gay everywhere are flat-chested?
So gay.
Mm-hmm. Well, but yeah.
That was an interesting take.
Yeah, look out for it. You will notice most of them are. And and that's also where their hatred for very nice looking, realistically sexy women comes from, that have larger tits than them. It's boob envy. I'm telling you, this is from experience. I've only gotten horrible comments from women, never from men. And when they talk about each other, they always go for the one with the biggest tits that they tear down first.
Are there?
It's like clockwork.
Are there large-chested women in Lord of the Rings?
In feminism, barely.
Only
really fucking. In Lord of the Rings, did you just say are there large-chested women in Lord of the Rings? Yes.
I'm trying to. Maybe Tom Bombadil's wife? I think maybe
she's not in the movies, and she didn't read the books.
In the movies, in the movies, there are women with big breasts in this in the movie. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were made in a time when that was still okay.
Yeah. Just because Liv Tyler doesn't have big boobs doesn't mean that no one else has big boobs. Come on. You have to look at those extras. Come on.
I know that Goldberry was like a goddess because Tom Bombadil was basically a god, and they had the same powers and this and that, but I don't remember how they described her as sexually because it was not the point. That was never the focus of the story.
Yeah, Tolkien never sat down and went, these huge knockers, these big mummy milkers on this elven warrior. I mean, she could knock an orc out just with one swing of her chest. The mammary glands on this elf.
Anime adaptation when?
Yeah. What is it that Dollface calls them? Huge badonkadonks, something like that. just attach on all elves. Man or woman, huge tits.
Oh, okay.
Huge tracts of land.
All right. Good to know.
Schmud's lost for words.
How did we get on this topic? I don't know what's going on here.
Well, because Smudge, you went. I didn't notice any boobs in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So what? My brain's like empty. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're watching Maggie Mae Fish. Of course your brain is empty.
Because at the end of the day, like what Smudge, like you said, you don't know what most of them are sexually because it wasn't part of the story. We didn't need to know everyone's sexuality. It's not the point. But these people seem to want to make sexuality the main
all over
thing.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you'd ruin the pages.
They don't care.
Oh, we didn't read it in the first place. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's officially confirmed that they are illiterate. So.
Yeah, but if they squid everything, they get all water in the DVD player. It wouldn't be very good.
I really don't want to commit to this metaphor. Can we just drop it?
Let's keep going.
I got halfway through and didn't want to carry on.
Let's keep going. I want to do something with my brain next, aside from just go,
From just like a storyteller's perspective, it would raise the stakes more in this like.
No, it wouldn't. The end of the world. God, if only Sam and Frodo were faggots, that would raise the stakes.
It would raise the stakes more if you complicated the narrative with a gay sexual relationship.
And Linz, you have a YouTube channel. Where is your bloody microphone? I can barely hear you. It's like you're at the other end of the town.
You see the look that she's doing right now? That's my reaction to what she just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the same. This is. Mm-hmm. It would have raised the stakes. The end of the world, and you're going, God, the stakes are a bit low.
Need some more.
Everyone might die. Literally, there's no high you can go.
She's like, these were dick sucking.
Yeah, but if only Frodo and Sam were like sucking each other off behind a rock in Mordor, then the stakes might be raised.
Oh my God! Can we just continue?
Yes.
Well,
no, we're gonna stick with this.
Here's Mark. Thanks, Mark. Relationship inspired by the hierarchy of a World War I
it
officer.
says soft butch. That's what her shirt says. Soft.
Yeah,
butch.
I noticed a minute ago.
What does that mean?
So.
I don't know.
It means she's a nice, kind-hearted butch instead of an asshole.
Oh, that's what it means.
Okay.
I don't know.
So fictional then.
All right. I mean,
well, apparently she's lesbian, which explains why she's a bit confused about her sex.
She's queer and non-binary. She's not lesbian.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, but I remembered the.
Yeah, but the odd thing is, the non-binary is a self-descriptor about your behavior, character, whatever nonsense you throw into that soup, and the other is your sexual orientation. Sexual orientation is not included in something like non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
And the SJWs apparently aren't able to figure that out themselves.
But queer's not lesbian, no. Wisp. Queer means.
Yeah, that is true.
All right.
Trans is also not lesbian.
Let's get back on.
But butch is lesbian.
Topic.
Okay. Here's Mark again. Relationship inspired by the hierarchy of a World War I officer and his servant. Weirdo women author. Why aren't you gay? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why aren't you gay? Why you no gay?
Be gay. Be gay.
Why you no suck his dick?
Here's John Doe, the average Joe. So she wants more sausages instead of steaks.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Now I'm more confused. Like, whoa, what are we talking about now?
Okay. Let's show that. They want more sausages.
Don't bring up food on a Smudcast. Now we just lost another 15 minutes.
No. All I'm gonna say is just like they want more sausages, not bison burgers.
Bison burger.
I'm just saying that's dangerous territory because then Smud.
I'm not going to mention cheese.
Make a perfect steak, and then he explains it.
I'm not going to mention cheese. Okay, so let's move on.
Let's keep going. Francis Ford Coppola.
If Linz is lesbian, why is she obsessed with guys sticking each other?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
That's why I'm asking.
Tap it out.
Anyway, I'd love and loathe to see what these women would say analyzing Apocalypse Now. Oh, God. The napalm is metaphor for gay anal sex. Willard and Kurtz never interact with women, so they're obviously gay. The cow sacrificing is a metaphor for gay oral sex. It's like, wow, holy jeez.
I think that the girls in this Zoom call just want to have gay sex with each other while talking about men having gay sex with each other.
Oh god, can you
I have
imagine?
a feeling they want to have gay sex with each other as men.
Oh no! Now that someone's mentioned Apocalypse Now, all I can think of, I love the smell of gay sex in the morning.
God, no.
Let's keep going, shall we?
Oh boy.
Story perspective, like Tolkien was really was taking himself down a notch. Like it could have been like that last scene with the ring could have been so cool if you knew they had had all these love feelings. And I
What?
also just, I had a very
What?
You wanted the big romantic kiss, didn't you? You wanted Frodo to throw the ring into the fire and then for Sam and Frodo to snog.
What? The scene
That's
where he
shit.
gets his finger cut off. She wants to be sexual or something weird like that.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
What?
No, I'm not gonna make that joke. No. We're gonna keep going.
You're
Linz, I'm
stronger
sorry
than
to
this
tell
thing.
you, but it seems like you're proving that Jordan Peterson was right about women.
Yeah.
This should...
the only person who ends up with a phallic-shaped object in them is Gollum, and he gets burnt to death.
Yeah, and you don't care about the end of the world and total oppression, rape, pillaging, and all of that, and cannibalism worldwide. You don't care about that. You only care about how guys are dicking each other.
You only care about two midgets fucking.
Seems like it.
Here's Francis Ford Coppola again. These women talking about gay sex reminds me of the podcast Come Town, where they do imitations of famous people saying they are gay. But these women aren't doing it as a joke. Also, they'd call it a cock the lips now? A cock the lips now. Oh.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Jeez, man, you're really pushing this Apocalypse Now reference.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Anyway. Why doesn't it look like she's groping herself in this freeze frame? I don't know why.
Okay.
No, she's groping herself where her tits would be if they weren't hanging sex that she was binding down.
Oh.
Oh, God. Wisp is like...
Wisp is brutal. Holy jeez.
Hail Wisp.
Jeez, man.
Our lawyers would like us to repeat that we do not...
I've had a bad day working through my PTSD book, okay?
Yeah.
I'm so done with these people.
Wait, hang on. You did all that and then you came onto a Maggie Mae Fish video?
Yeah.
Well,
no wonder you're on the grog.
I can't be held responsible if Wisp dies on camera.
Oh, after stream, I can turn on the camera and you can see the rings under my eyes if you want.
Jesus, no wonder you're so fucked up.
The opinions expressed in this Smudcast are not those of the other Smudcast members. They do not purport to reflect the opinions or views of other Smudcasts or its other members.
Hey, I try to do this every day because I try to get out of this and over this. I work on this shit instead of going around and going, oh, I have some light PTSD. Please give me extra points and make my exams extra easy because I'm a girl. No.
Yeah.
I got the severe shit and I work on it.
I will say...
and everybody can work on it.
You know that thing you just said, Smud? You got to have the end bit... excluding bears, because I think bears and Wisp agree.
so sorry about a humble brag. I'm so pissed at these people because they to use their language, they appropriate every medical condition of everyone else on the fucking planet to get virtue points. Mm-hmm. Conditions they do not have. They only perform. Mm-hmm. They role play. And to bully everyone else around, including the people who have the actual conditions. Because when those people speak up against them, they get dogpiled. Because they're a threat to their fantasies that they're playing. Because if they had any of the conditions that they claim to have, They wouldn't be smiling all the time. They wouldn't be happy. They wouldn't do these happy YouTube channels. They wouldn't be in university. They would be stuck at home, stuck in therapy, stuck in maybe even a closed ward.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. John Doe, the average Joe, thanks again. I was referring to how they think having a gay romance would raise the stakes in the story. Not my best pun. Sorry for the confusion. Yeah, don't worry. It's okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Raise the stakes. We got it. Okay. Don't spell it like it's the food. So just anyway, let's go.
Yeah, I'm very, very angsty and like struggly about it, and so I feel a lot of that like angsty like tension. I could really relate to that when I was that age.
As great as the Aragorn, Arwen triangle is, it's really the only official love story between
But why
the
do
main
they only
characters.
feel...
No, it's not an official love story, though.
Here's the thing. I'm not in the room, so can you pause it?
But never
I'm not
actually
watching
make
it. I'm just listening. Why do they not get that tension when it's... Like, you can get that romantic tension when the story's supposed to have it. Like when you're watching, like, Legend of the Seeker or something. Like, when there's a love interest... and they keep getting interrupted, things like that.
Show! You watched that show! I'm so happy I never get to talk about anybody about that show!
Oh, God.
Of course he did, of course. Of course!
Oh.
But, what I'm saying is, you have that tension when it's supposed to be there. It seems like they only get that tension when it's at, like, inappropriate times and happens to be homosexual.
Yeah.
Like, two guys brush shoulders and they're like, oh my fucking god. But then when it's like a guy and a girl where it's an intended relationship, they don't say anything about it. Or even when it is, it's like Raylo, where again, it's not really appropriate to the situation.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just talking about it because it's popular.
Yeah, also, can I just say... that love triangle is the only official relationship. Well, it's not, because Sam gets married.
Yes.
So,
it's from the very beginning of the first movie.
Yeah, wrong?
Shut up.
Yeah, it's like, that's really wrong, so... Point invalidated, moving on to another thing.
To the land of canon love story. There feels like an imbalance. And because most of the characters in the film are men, that love imbalance happens to be gay. The Aragorn triangle also
it's non-existent.
Because they're men, therefore they must...
And I thought that this would...
Gay?
And I thought that this would be one of the least bad things. Apparently I was
Oh, it
wrong.
is. It is definitely not.
Hold on. We've not even got to fucking the Old Guard yet. Right? We're still on Lord of the Rings. We've got the Old Guard to fucking go... Oh, I fucking hate this. I really fucking hate this. I'm getting another drink. I really fucking hate this.
We've got some pain to get through, guys.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't even know what that movie is, though. We've never even heard of the Old Guard before.
Yeah.
Literally, what was it?
I advertised once.
Yeah, I saw advertised once on Gay Weekly.
Okay.
It's decent. It's not super, super, super good, but I enjoyed it. It's got some good action.
It's not super, super, super good. Well, then what is it? Just super, super good? Average? There's quite a big gap with that.
Here's Tyler Preston.
Just saying.
I've checked out all the comments, and they're all the same. I found one that basically said straight men aren't allowed to express their love to each other because society blah, blah, blah. Does platonic relationships do not exist to them? Wait a second.
Wait, is she saying
if
that
straight men express their
hold on,
romantic love for each other, they would be homosexual men.
Wait, they're saying that straight people are actually gay people that are internally oppressed?
Apparently.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Do you know how many times when I ring my friends, I just literally end up going, bye, I love you. To my straight male friends. It's just like a little joke. But that's because we're just really comfortable with each other.
No, it's because you want to jerk them off.
No.
Hey,
No.
sexy hockey.
You're internally oppressed if you're saying no.
Hey, sexy hockey.
Listen, I know a lot of men would want to sleep with me, and I accept that. But unfortunately, I have to break their hearts and say, no, not today.
What do we say to the god of sex?
Not today. What do we say? What do we say to the homosexuals? Not today.
What do we no? The correct answer is what do we say to the god of sex? Self. What do you feel like doing today?
What do I say to the god of sex? Well, I usually just say to the mirror, sure, go on. I do, me.
Okay.
The Sam Frodo Smeagol triangle. And in an
Oh,
example...
what?
That is fan fiction material right there.
No. Time out. No, I'm no.
Aware what word she's using?
Smeagol.
Is she aware what she's implying?
I don't know what she's implying. I'm just no. I'm ignoring this Lord of the Rings conversation now. A freeway love triangle. No.
We're not even going to acknowledge it.
No, moving on. Play.
Yeah,
moving
that's
on.
not even funny.
You didn't hear it. The audio.
Moving on.
Gay, but is gay. Smeagol refers to Deagle, the hobbit he first stole the ring from, as his love. Which is both romantic writing and also explicit textual love between two male characters. Because there are two prominent relationship triangles in the text, they implicitly shed light on one another. One is between a man who has to flee his homeland because of his identity, a woman who cross-dresses, and an elf lady.
Oh no!
Wait.
No!
A woman who cross-dresses.
No, that's not cross-dressing. Shut the fuck up.
What did you say? Cross-dressing?
That is.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, she just said.
Describing Eowyn as a cross-dresser.
What?
Wow! I haven't.
Just
oh my god!
What? Because she's
She's
flat?
armor. No, because she's wearing armor.
She's bustier than you, Maggie.
Yeah, but she's wearing armor. But she's wearing armor. She's not. She's just wearing armor as a disguise.
All right.
Oh yeah, but she's dressed as a man. What? Just because all the men are dressed
fight on the battlefield.
Yeah, but it's still just armor. But it's still just armor. It's not.
I think
it's not. It's not a sexual
It's just
fetish.
a disguise. It's just a disguise. She doesn't think she's a man. It's called a disguise.
It's so that she can do the work of a man.
I've stopped writing down all the things that we have problems with.
Why did you start? Why did you start, Smud? Why did you ever start? You knew not even halfway through this video you'd go, "No, fuck this."
I was going to leave a nice comment because I usually been leaving comments in all these YouTubers' videos to say, this is what we think, yada yada. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think this is worth it.
No,
it's not.
No, not worth it. Why did you ever think it was worth? Wow, okay. But this is a cross-dress. Oh, shut the fuck up, Maggie. That is a Mongoloid
There are
take.
so many stories of women dressing up as men to get into the army, to be like a man, to
Well,
disguise
so Mulan's a cross-dresser.
apparently
probably
so.
Gay, then.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mulan really wants to be a man now. She's probably trans.
Yeah. Well, let's tell communist China that and see how far we get with.
I imagine you would get shot.
No, I'd probably be an extra in the next Mulan movie with all the other concentration camp people.
You know what? That's probably not inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tyler Preston, I think you are correct. That is what they actually believe. That the Mulan movie, the original, was about transgenderism. Because they do not understand. They do not understand the topic at all. They just see their fetish.
God, yeah. But there's no way, like, I'm actually going to be hard.
Of course they do. There is no way that this doesn't count with these people. It's everything, every nonsense that can be made up by anyone, they will believe. They will come up with it, and they will say that is reality.
This is more stupid than because Batman wore Nike shoes. It's a bad Batman movie. This is really fucking stupid. I'm just.
These people all need dialectical behavioral therapy.
They need.
They lack the skills. They lack the skills that any child and teenager normally learns naturally, and they need to be taught that manually. Otherwise, they would have some grasp on reality.
Yeah, I just. Yeah. Also, is Aragon fleeing his home because of his lineage?
No.
Okay,
He's going on a quest because he believes it's the right thing to do. There's a big difference.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. Because he wanted to be with the Rangers and stuff. That's fine. I've not read the books in ages, so I'm just trying to remember. Most of my knowledge comes from the movies because it's the last thing that I've seen in regards to Lord of the Rings. So she's wrong on that count. She's wrong on. Yeah, but she's also wrong about the cross-dressing, so that's wrong. So what's she going to say about fuck? Oh.
All right.
He's going to say a lot about that.
Between an outcast who was involved in a romantically coded relationship in the past, a protagonist who doesn't seem too interested in the traditional romantic relationships, and his loyal best friend.
Who is he meant to be romantic with?
Also, Frodo's asexual. Who are you to know?
No.
He's too busy being fucked up for half the movie to think about.
Yeah, okay. Hang on, hold on. He's single, while he's supposedly because in the books, when the books start, he's only classed still like a kid, isn't he?
He's 50.
But
which in Hobbit years isn't a lot.
Which in Hobbit years, because I'm pretty sure you said he's still classed as a kid.
I don't think so, since Bilbo is classified as an adult when he reaches 50. Bilbo's an old, considered an old hobbit.
Okay,
right.
Frodo is 18. In years.
Yeah. So anyway, regardless, so he's just single, right? And to be honest with you, there's apart from Sam's thing, there's not much with relationships. Then he goes on the quest pretty much straight away. Who is he got time to have romantic interests with?
The only way that would happen is if there was a female hobbit that was with him. That's the only way you could do it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is simply he's on a mission, and that takes priority.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if Sam was female, would they be happy with the way this went? They probably call it a crappy romance. They wouldn't like the way the story went. Oh no, they would like the way the story went because they went, well, it shows that they shouldn't get together, and there's nothing actually romantic between them. If Sam was a woman, but because Sam's a man, it has to be romantic because it has to be gay. And what Wisp was saying earlier, it's a fetish. Everything has to be gay.
I actually Frodo just seems like he just isn't interested in that sort of thing, just period.
Because he's too busy being fucked up.
Exactly.
Yeah, in the movie, he's too busy. He's too busy. Yeah, just being. Yeah.
There's a psychological war going on within him due to the ring messing with him.
Yeah.
He has no time to think about anything that gets his boner up.
Exactly. Yeah. He's too busy being fucked up.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway, let's let's keep going.
Anything to help that he loves.
The world of Lord of the Rings is so immersive, and there is this lore and this backstory. Dude invented so many languages and so much history. But to me, the really
what beyond Sindarin did Tolkien
invent?
Reading
the books, the things that I can tell he loved writing the most, and I can tell just sort of get the most love and attention are these really tender, really small moments between Frodo and Sam, with Gollum, with Gimli and
No, I agree with that, but they're not sexual.
Right. Yeah, they're best buddies
I would agree with that.
going through hell together. Yeah.
You and he were buddies.
Would you?
I keep repeating, it's a World War I analogy. In the trenches.
Yeah.
The way Sam and Frodo care for each other is the way soldiers in the trenches cared for each other. And when the other can't move anymore, you carry him.
Yeah. Not that difficult.
And that is also why the strange thing is that a lot of soldiers from World War One, after the war, didn't know what to do anymore, because this level of friendship that you always knew there is someone who has my back in hell. In normal, after the war, not back in normal society, they didn't have that anymore, and that is why a part of society was looking forward to the next war, because they knew then I can have that feeling again of this ultimate friendship, this ultimate non-sexual love for each other. And that's what these people also don't understand. And I think this is a very tragic thing. That you for one, that you crave that so much you rather have another war. And secondly, that you cannot find this in normal society. And then you have these weirdos here who even fuck that up for you, because now we can't even have good male relationships between each other, because now everything is seen as gay. You're too close with someone, you have a too deep friendship with someone. Oh, you must want to dick each other. So fuck you. Fuck you, assholes. I hope you have to. I honestly hope you have to go through hell in your life once, and then you will know what this is that you've been making fun of all the time, that you are now missing, that you need, and nobody will be there for you, so that you finally get a reality check and finally grow up from that pain that you have to go through. But no, you're rather the people who make others go through hell due to your insanity.
Shall we keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like you can read it in all these different ways, but it just, to me, is this story about like very big events as a backdrop for this like really intimate like vulnerability, and that like we see these like especially male characters expressing vulnerability in ways that is so refreshing and so different than most work. In a way that like makes me as like a woman like really relate to them and like feel like I can really put myself in them and understand them, because they just are sort of freed of like something that like a way that a lot of male characters act.
You're an idiot who doesn't understand men at all, because that is what most men go through in their lives. They just don't brag about it like you gossiping women. Oh, I have an emotion. I need to tell everyone about it. Oh my god!
I think what she said. Well, I think what she said just now is okay, but there's no sexual connotations behind it. That's where they're wrong.
Yeah, well, look, you find a similar relationship in Wheel of Time between the main cast of the adventurer group. Like the whole story of Rand and Matt getting to Tar Valon is very similar to the Ring story in the way that Matt is declining due to the curse he's under. And they care about each other the same way. They grew up with each other.
I think, Wiz, you'll find this funny. There's actually a Kothor ship in certain Wheel of Time communities.
I'm not surprised. I bet it's the same Fujoshi type girls that do that.
Gay dudes.
Well, that is not much difference between them and these girls, from my experience.
Fair enough. Let's keep going, shall we?
Means a lot to queer people who already have slim pickings when it comes to depictions of same-sex love. Let alone
no, they don't.
Slim
we have monthly queer cinema in our cinema, where all the gay people go to watch gay wanker movies.
Gay wanker movies.
That's what they are about. It's not about romance. It's about dicking.
So much
love a
dicking.
good dicking.
True.
So much dicking. Just dicks everywhere. It's like
It's not.
the men's
It's not.
toilets
It's not.
at Butler,
They make
so much
They
dicks.
make the. Yet they make that out to be as something so romantic. The gay community is so romantic. No, they're not. It's mainly about having sex.
Yeah.
Alone in blockbuster genre pieces, which are usually crafted to be as cishet as possible.
Someone just sent me an article.
Did she say cishead?
Cishead.
What is a cishead?
Yeah, cishead.
Cis is the slur for people who are not trans. Cis is the counter term to
head. Is that like punk head? Like what the fuck?
Is that like dickhead? But like
cis hetero. It's short for cis hetero.
Het.
You're not trans.
Oh, het. Okay, I thought she was saying cis head like punk head. I was like, what the fuck?
No.
Yeah, I thought, or like dickhead or something. Like, I don't know.
It's already that they bring in these cis trans not crap into this is just why.
This is
why
ridiculous.
Honestly, I do not want Hollywood to make anything about trans, because they get it wrong anyway, and I don't want to see that on screen, because usually it feels wrong.
It also sucks usually. It's poorly written.
Yeah, because they don't understand it. And the SJWs, who claim to be the experts on the topic, don't understand it at all, because they only have their stupid fetishes in mind. They don't care about what we really go through. They make some shit up about it. Like that we're bullied for being trans. No, we're not bullied for being trans in school, because nobody knows we're trans. At least that was the way in my age. Now, of course, it's a different thing. You tell everyone you're trans so that you get extra protections from bullies. Back in my day, you didn't tell anyone because you were already the target of bullying, not because you're trans, but because you're in so much psychological pain that you are indistinguishable from someone with a severe depression. That makes you an easy target, and that is how you get bullied. It's not because you're trans. It's a few steps further because of a symptom of this shit. Nobody knows that you're trans. You're just a weak. You're just an easy target. That's all.
Okay.
Well, I have like a side Twitter account that is like only Hobbit content, and so people send me a lot of stuff on there, which is like just wonderful. But so like when they were shooting the movies with Sir Ian McKellen, who's like an out gay man and was out as the movies were being shot, and has been like this huge advocate. He would like coach Elijah Wood and Sean Astin to sort of like play certain scenes more romantically, and I think there's like the specific one is like
I've never heard that.
And Sam rushes to his side and holds his hands and then kind of like blushes, and it's
I've
like that's in the
never
book. That is
heard
like textually
ever.
Sam runs up and then like grabs his hand, he like blushes and turns away and is just like overcome. And I think it like wasn't in the script. And Ian McKellen was like, as a gay person, this moment mattered so much to me. Like it could be taken as one thing, but I took it as
so she's gay too,
personal. And so he
sort
of like bring that.
So it could be.
Here's another example of an artist interpreting the work in a way that meant so much to him, taking
the
actual
I don't
text
care
of the
about
book and adding layers to the characters, both by staying true to the text and by including his own point of view.
With like an adaptation, it's so interesting because it is in some ways Peter Jackson's adaptation and Fran Walsh's adaptation, but then there's all these other people who were involved, and so it really means that there are so many people who got to be involved in the making of the movie.
No kidding, it's a movie.
And like a bunch of
oh wow,
so
even
of course
fucking
there's
cops
just
are
like,
involved.
more voices getting brought in, and that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the more people who are like marginalized who are working on something, the more
marginalized.
The more people who are marginalized while working on something. How does that work?
I so hate this word. I so hate this word marginalized. How in today's world, in the Western world, that you are, by the way, trying to destroy and let be taken over by the most horrible cultures on the fucking planet, how are homosexuals, bisexuals, and trans people marginalized when at this point we get extra positions, special privileges, not even just by law, by decree at this point, which is actually discriminatory in a positive sense. And how are we marginalized if even without that, people out of sheer fear that they might get a hate mob of socialists at their heel, that are pandering to us, and giving us jobs, not because of our qualification, but because we have this weird attribute.
Well, it only happens to me
If I went to a new employer because I'm stuck in this annoying mid-transition state, I would probably get the job because I'm currently chronically ill, essentially disabled by that standard. So I fulfill that quota, and I am this trans person that they would obviously notice because I can't pass properly because I'm stuck in this fucking mid state. And I would fulfill another quota for them, so they can say, "Oh, okay, we're fine company." And I would just be there not because I'm qualified for the job. I'm there because I'm a token, and that's thanks to you assholes. You predatory, insane tyrants.
I was going to say the only time I ever feel marginalized is when I run out of butter. So. I thought it was funny. I like butter. Okay, here's EC Cons.
That was such a shit.
Marginalized. I don't know. Whatever. EC Cons. Molly Ostertag's wife made She-Ra. She's married. Okay.
Oh God.
What? Ostertag's what?
That's good to know. Yeah. Okay. We have these friends of relationship people who are making other things.
It's a big circle jerk of insanity.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
A little bit, yeah.
12 minutes, 33 seconds. We're doing okay. We're fine.
Okay.
Haven't started the second movie yet, but we're still talking about the gay.
That's not going to be for the last. It's going to be the last 10 minutes.
Oh.
I've seen this video. It's going to be the last 10 minutes.
Well, we could take a break and call this a day. We can just end it now if you guys want to, get it.
I mean, this does look like a two-parter.
Yeah, it feels like a two-parter. So we can stop
and we get to like 15.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Let's do that. Okay.
We can get done with the Lord of the Rings part. I mean,
all right.
You said there's a double feature.
If the Lord of the Rings part though is like 90% of the video, it's like
Anyway, let's see how far we can go.
Yeah, it's like
false advertisement.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Studios won't be like keeping their eye on to like push through the gate.
Even within the fantasy realm of the Lord of the Rings, hobbits are coded throughout as an other or outsider when compared to their fantasy
only outside the Shire.
Elves and men.
Yeah, but so are the elves outside of their place. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
They're even more secluded than the hobbits.
Wait, so
races are different in order to hit home that these are different cultures.
Yeah, but are orcs gay because they're ostracized outside of their own place? What about goblins?
I've been searching my whole life to find my own place. And maybe it's the tardy talking or the man flesh in stew.
It's just
Hobbits almost like gives them permission to be more vulnerable because they don't have this like like what a man needs to be.
They have a culture, Maggie. They distinctly have a male and female culture. It's not some complicated inclusive thing.
Yeah,
they're making the claim that I think they're making the claim that Frodo is androgynous.
Really?
Technically, they're not wrong. They're technically not wrong. It's like he's just not interested in anybody. He's just
doesn't have time for that, and there's no girl available.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call that being androgynous.
I find this a gross misinterpretation of the situation.
Okay, it's like
I agree.
There's
place to pop.
There's like a school of thought that they're kind of like coded as women, which is just interesting.
What? What? How the hell are the hobbits coded as women?
This is what I mean. It's stereotyping. They see, they behave like this, and like that. These people have who claim to be fighting stereotypes, they have the most stereotypical thinking in the fucking world.
So is it the
only
part?
think in stereotypes, and you get into the drawer, into the box that they have deemed you fit the most, and that's what you then are.
Is it the scenes where they're making or eating cheese or cleaning plates, or like what is it that makes them stereotypically feminine? I want to know. The smoking scenes, like what is it?
The heavy drinking scenes.
Yeah.
The stabbing people's ankles scenes. The
dancing.
Throwing rocks.
Yeah, like what
people,
is it? Because guys don't do any of that stuff. We don't make cheese, guys. We don't even.
Is it just because Mary and Pippin have a long hair?
Yeah.
Oh, so all metalheads are women, okay? Yeah. I've got that insult, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. They're all girls, all girly girls.
Yeah.
They are dismissed and like treated as like not very powerful. They're never expected to like pick up weapons and go to war. And when they do, they sort of have to like Mary has to disguise himself along with Eowyn in order to be allowed to go into battle. Like, and they never call themselves men, like the hobbits don't. Like
they're hobbits.
They're hobbits. And they're hobbit, and the great thing about the Shire is that it is so nicely isolated from all the horrible places that they never even need to think about war.
Yeah.
They don't need the concept of it.
Yeah.
It's not that they're coded as women because they don't have weapons. You're an idiot.
I just smoke oak pipeweed and just vibe with life.
Yeah, they do that and then they drink.
Yeah. It's paradise. The Shire's paradise.
Paradise, yeah.
You have some gossiping women that are annoying, okay, but for the most part, it's paradise. It's beautiful. There's food in abundance. The hobbits are stuffing themselves with 5 meals a day, and probably some desserts in between. And then they get high on weed.
And they have a giant cheese cave.
They don't even have
shoes. Cheese caves and
and when they've had their 5 meals with desserts in between after they got high and drank enough beer, they'll have a festival at night with fireworks where they eat more. This is paradise. The Shire is heaven. There is no war in heaven. It's the point. There's so little war in heaven that you don't need weapons.
They technically have gone to war in the past, but that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah. The Shire that's presented to us in the story of Lord of the Rings, in that part, is just there's nothing like that. This is the perfect place. Mm-hmm. If you ever want to be somewhere, this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
That is the word for humans, and like they just call themselves hobbits. Maybe lads, like
exactly are.
Like that's all. And it's
also
like,
elves are also humans.
I can inhabit and like
elves don't call themselves men.
Okay, so she's basically saying I can appropriate hobbit culture.
Yeah. You're racist. You're racist, Molly. You know what happens when you call an elf a man? It probably got you.
You get a slap bottom, but you get sent on your way and told not to be naughty again.
Probably. Should we keep going?
Yeah.
What happens when you call an orc a man?
Like this character is also me.
The whimsy of fantasy invites your own analysis and meaning, and especially in epic fantasy, which deals very much in the larger struggles of humanity, like love and war. And looking at the Lord of the Rings.
I don't think love was ever a huge struggle in Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it's a large struggle. It's a common struggle. It's part of life.
It's not even a. Yeah. This is silly. Not.
Yeah.
I know that there's the love triangle, as she said before, about Eowyn and Galadriel, but that's about
Gollum.
it. Gollum.
But there isn't really. But here's the thing. But there isn't really a love triangle because Aragorn's not even remotely interested in her. He's only got eyes. So there's not really a love triangle. It's more just a love splodge of.
It's two people in a long-established relationship and a teenage girl who has a crush on an attractive 97-year-old man.
Yes.
Classic story.
Oh, how many times have we heard that one? Time and time again.
Never gets old.
Rings epic
Man
through a
meets
modern
elf.
lens,
Man
queer
falls in
love
love with
acceptance
elf.
is one of the epic struggles of this last century. Return of the King was released in 2003, and it wasn't until over a decade later, in 2015, that gay marriage was legalized by the U.S. Supreme Court.
What has that to do
in a
with each
decision that
other?
struck down same-sex
What?
marriage bans across the country.
All the relationships are written as romances in that story.
No,
They
they're
are
not.
written romantically, even if they are friendships.
No. Okay,
or,
here's what
like,
something that
Okay,
pisses me
wow,
off.
wow.
Wait. Here's something that pisses me off
They
about
are
these
written
people.
romantically, even if they are friendships.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
and
that
this is
means-
what pisses me off about I don't know if this is an English thing, I don't know if this is a left-wing thing, but they use
crazy
romantic in two meanings, and they use it interchangeably. They either mean romance, like nice, doing nice things for each other and caring about each other, and at the same time they use it to mean sex.
Yeah.
So what is it? That is this pisses me off about the use of this word. And when I don't think we use it that way in German. I think in German we only use it for the whole caring and courtship thing, the feelings, but not the humping.
Well, we all want to go to Valhalla because there's feasting, fighting, and humping.
Yeah, but this is I think this is by this is ambivalence the right word? By using the word this way with both meanings at the same time, they're pushing, they're sneaking in that because they care about each other, because they have feelings for each other, they want to hump each other.
There you go.
They still
So much
with this level of like poeticism and drama that is
Poeticism?
so beautiful. And I really love romantic movies. I love watching rom-coms
Beautiful,
and dramas.
so
Like
you
I
wanna be-
really seek that
beautiful
stuff
means
out.
be gay.
That still is like a much more relatable and tender and real feeling love story than most of like when people set out to actually make a romantic story.
Are you joking?
Poeticismus. Poeticismus is not a word.
What is? That's like saying, the story of The Princess Bride is more of a science fiction than like Star Wars. I'm like, what? You sure?
I've lived long enough to hear someone go, Sam and Frodo is more of a romance than when people set out to make romance stuff. It's like, no, it's not.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding is less of a romance than Lord of the Rings.
It's like, yeah, sure, okay, it beats out fucking 50 Shades, but a lot of things beat that out on the romance scale. But
it definitely beats Divorce Invitation. I'll say that. Even though Divorce Invitation has Nadia Bjornlund, who I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. I'd be cool with that.
I'm just.
And I've said it before. I think these people are unable to understand any sort of love beyond eros, the sexual love, because they. I've said it. I know, but because they're immature, they're not developed enough to understand any of these other forms of love, and maybe that's why all their relationships are so shit too, because they're all just based on sexuality.
Yeah.
And that's why they write stories like shit, because they do not understand how real relationships work, how real friendships work. They don't have real friends because they don't know what that is even like, what that means. Who will go through the fires of hell with you?
Really gay, but also definitely not, but kind of totally is.
Oh my god.
It's not, though.
Are you now telling me that Bilbo and Gandalf have a thing?
I want to kill myself.
Because that's what you're implying with saying this while putting them on screen.
No.
It's really this, but it's really not this, but it's actually really this.
Out there of them.
God, it's not gay, but it totally is gay. But it's
Horrible.
I really want to kill myself.
I think you can only unironically watch her when you're already indoctrinated.
What is going on?
I just want to.
Logic is not something these people care about. I've noticed over the years. They just like we'll say words, and then we'll say other words, and then we'll say the opposite of what we just said in the same sentence because we can.
Yeah, it's something else that I've noticed. Yeah, they'll say a sentence, and then they'll just say another sentence that contradicts the last sentence because they've already forgotten everything they've just said. It's like, oh right, okay.
Well, that way you can just roll with the answer you like. It's all subjective.
Yeah, but that means your own words are actually subjective as well, independent of your other words.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, you get it. That's how they reel people into their cult.
You cannot even
just believe whatever you want.
You can't even write a sentence or a paragraph to follow your words because they all contradict each other, and you couldn't write a story with these people.
Yeah.
They'd be out of their minds.
Yeah. Also, nothing would happen as well in these stories apart from gayness.
Oh well, that's
Have
what you
you
expect.
seen their cartoons or read the
But yeah,
fan
no, true. Yeah, no, yeah.
There's nothing in them. There's absolutely nothing of worth in them. It's just drivel. Drivel and fetishes. It's all that's in there.
Drivel and gayness. Drivel and gayness sounds like a really bad 1970s band.
It probably is.
Anyway.
Gosh, you have no idea.
Are we done the halfway mark? We're almost there. 1 more minute. Okay. Let's go.
But let's switch these gay gears and talk about the old guard.
Yay!
Oh wow!
Yay!
Oh, thank God!
Yay! We'll call it a day.
Oh.
We made it.
Yeah, we can stop. Thank the Lord.
We made it, guys.
It's not 90% after all.
Huzzah!
I forgot. Yeah, I just remember the old guard section being so friggin' short that I just
Maybe you fell asleep.
Anything.
Well,
I watched the whole thing. I was just like, that's it? That's all you talked about the old guard? Really?
No, I don't care. I'm just glad that I'm not talking about fucking midgets fucking each other for 5 seconds. It's just...
Anyway, that was that was Maggie Mae. We had half a session. We did this before with other videos, which they go on very long. So if you guys want to continue this tomorrow, I don't see why not. The Old Guard's is a totally different movie.
Yes.
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
So I think we'd
I'd love to. I'd love to see what they get out of this movie.
Okay, all right.
Is it a good movie?
I've
not seen it.
It's a decent action movie with kind of a I can understand why, because there are actual gay characters in it, but it's kind of it's just kind of a relatively competent action movie is my.
Well, I might have to give it a quick viewing before we.
It's from last year.
It's on Netflix.
Well, I'm not gonna watch it on Netflix.
Tortuga Hoy, hi friends.
I just sorry, my brain's really melted at this point in time. I'm just struggling to think of words.
All right. Well, anyway,
make words nor love.
I think we could all.
Maggie Mae Fish has killed me.
Yeah, I think we could all take a break and call it a day and enjoy our Friday evening and do the usual things, petting a dog.
My Saturday morning.
Well, exercise, whatever keeps you alive and reminds yourself you're sane and have a functioning brain and all those other good organs inside of you. Good stuff, guys.
Heavily.
Yeah. Have hug a family member. Here's a good idea. Just go up to them and hug them and say, "What was that for?" It's like, "You're not Maggie Mae Fish."
Oh dear Lord! Thank God you're not Maggie Mae Fish. Oh, thank God. I mean, you're not great, but you're not Maggie. So.
Don't tell them the standard of what that means, but just say, you're a good person.
You're better than Maggie Mae Fish. I go, oh, is that one of your YouTube-y things? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever it is, Grandma. I love you too.
I'm just gonna take a nap and then I'm gonna head to Walmart for a night shift.
Ooh,
oh.
Fun times, my man. All right, guys, thank you for your time. We appreciate all your intellect and comedy and drunken banter and outbursts. It's always good too. So thank you. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll finish this one off because I don't think it's going to take too long. And more gnashing of teeth and wailing of other things will occur, I'm sure. So have a great night. See you later. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
And thanks for chat. You've been